So if for no other reason, Islam also fails when it comes to my thinking that Islam could be the word of God or the right way to go. So lately I've received a lot of Muslims who are saying, hey, brother, you should read the Quran. You should follow the Quran. The Quran is the true word of God. I understand Christianity is so messed up. The Bible is so messed up. You should study Quran, follow Muhammad, blah, 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 blah. And in one conversation with the gentleman, I expressed to him that one of the reasons why I can never follow Islam or any religion that perpetuates slavery is because of the idea of slavery. And he was like, where's the evidence? Where in the Quran does it say that, you are authorized to have slaves, or that Allah supports slavery? So I sent him this up here where Islam, the Quran, prescribes certain types of treatment for slaves, that it does call for good treatment of slaves. It says it recognizes that there are slave laws so that slaves are treated correctly, and that it is desired for slaves to be freed. That is an aspect of Islam that is better than the Bible, where you are, as a Muslim, if you have a slave, you are to make that slave free if possible. But they are also quoted as far as being a part of households. And the thing is this: if God is God, then at no time does God need to wait for man to raise his consciousness to outlaw a system that is inappropriate for that God. All this indicates to me is that this book was written, as the other books, by men at the time frame of their culture and based on their culture. So it's not the word of any God. Because really conceptualize it. If you were God, do you have to wait for man to catch up in his morality for you to say, hey, no slaves? If you can tell man at any point that this is how you're supposed to worship me, you're supposed to make these animal sacrifices, you're supposed to go and conquer these people, you're supposed to have these rituals that you're supposed to keep, these holy days that you're supposed to keep, you're supposed to pray this way. If you can tell man to do all those things, then what's the problem with telling man, hey, no man should own another man. No man should own another woman. A woman is not the property of her husband or her father, and that a woman has just equal rights as a man does. That a woman can inherit property, and it shouldn't matter who she marries as to the inheritance of that property. If you can say all these other rules and all these other laws, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, you should also be able to say, thou shalt not own another person. And for that one reason alone, even though there are many, but just that one reason alone is enough for me to say that Islam is also a man-made created religion. That man created Allah. Allah is not the God. That it was based on Muhammad and his time frame of living in the 600 CE time frame. And slavery was a known thing then. Women were subjugated then. Ethnic cleansings and nationhood was a thing at that time frame. So no, to all my Muslims out there who keep sending me messages saying, come to Islam, come to Islam. Islam is not like Christianity. It's the true word of God. It hasn't changed and all this stuff. It wouldn't matter if it hadn't changed. The fact that your God prescribes rules and regulations for slavery instead of just completely outlawing slavery is enough to demonstrate your God's not a good God either. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.